So another another very successful story of mine was that I wanted to be an actor.
Right.
Okay, that was the first thing. Uh, I liked comedy, but I really like my dream was
Hang
to
on.
become an actor. But so yes, but I never even went for the auditions or
Well, I think
whatever it's
there's
called.
a little fault in your plan there. I think if you want to do the acting but you don't go for the audition, that's a bit tough.
Oh yeah, that was probably the tough part. Yeah, yeah. So I did some kind of acting workshops and
Right.
stuff
Okay.
like that. So yeah, so I bought some books on drama and theater and stuff. So but it yeah, but I had at the end of high school, I had like a very tough period. I All my exams were not very good. Like I
Mm.
couldn't get into any college.
Right.
As, and then I decided I'll not even try this acting because I don't know. It, I
It
know
just
I
pissed you
probably
off.
yeah, I was kind of also I heard those stories that to get into acting you have to have like if your father has to be an actor or whatever. I was
Ah,
still a kid.
mm.
You know better than
I mean, I listen. I'm from Eastern Europe, and there's we have some overlaps. There's definitely stories like that. Like if you have a parent in the industry, it will open doors that other people, you have to literally, kick and claw and bite and everything to get there, and that's fair play. But it is absolutely doable. You're not tied to it. But I can see how when you're already sort of struggling with your motivation and you're already pissed off about something, the last thing you need is another dose of like, well, it's not really for you. Yeah, I can see how that would rock anyone in that scenario.
yeah. So I didn't even try it.
Mm.
But some good news maybe. So yeah, but but that's maybe off topic because that's more of a my story. But this comedy it comes from like two things.
No, no, this is
So,
this is all relevant to your journey as a performer.
oh, okay.
So
So,
rock star, actor, comedian. What else do you know, sir?
yeah, but I failed at all of those almost. But
And listen, that's a good place to start.
yeah, let's say so. Okay, let me go through the story. This would be like a motivational part of of this. Uh,
Hang on, I'm
so
just gonna put some music on, so we're gonna record
yeah,
it
yeah.
and just
You should put some music on.
Hans Zimmer time. Let's go.
Yes, there was this part in my life that I would just those. I didn't get to this acting. I didn't get to any college whatsoever. Only something like English linguistics or whatever at some smaller city
Mm.
in Poland. I got this letter that you can go to kind of like a weekend college, but you have to pay for it. But and it was called finance and accounting. I was like, okay, finance. That means money. I need money, right? And so I went to that. I started finance and accounting, and I have a bachelor in finance and accounting. So that's what I started with, and that was I don't kind of remember. It was a strange period in my life because I
Right.
when I was doing this finance and accounting or whatever, I was looking for a job because it was a weekend college, so I had to have a job during the week. So I found this job as a financial advisor. That was the name. You always in corporate, you have those very nice names for
Yeah, I mean,
jobs.
yes, that's the corporate lingo is always like a layer of bullshit just
Yeah, exactly.
smeared on top of whatever you do. Like when you write your CV as a waiter, what were your responsibilities? And I was responsible for meeting targets and sales, and I was facilitating customer engagement and satisfaction. Like you were putting the plate on the table, but okay, cool.
And so, but that was basically just door to door selling.
Mm.
It was called Financial Advice. I was just
Oh,
going, just calling my friends and like any people that I know from my family or whatever. I was just calling them, going to their houses and trying to
what
sell them
was
some insurance products.
okay? So I was gonna say, was this
Yeah.
financial advisoring for fucking Avon or something?
No. Yeah. Could you imagine me as being Avon consultant? That would be awesome.
Nah, listen. I one of my first jobs, my second job in the UK was business to business promoting as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
yes, that's the struggle was real.
So, but when I was doing that for some time, I was not very good at it.
Hmm.
Basically, I was there for some months only because had this kind of like a rich uncle who bought something. Okay. And they say, okay, so you're good. You're good at it because
Good.
you could bring us some money, because that was basically a pyramid scheme, like a
Yeah.
pyramid scheme. So they were all just, when they hire you, they earn money just by hiring you, and they can get some money from your
Yes,
family,
if you get
parents,
somebody
whatever.
else into the
Yeah.
thing, then you get, yeah, that's a good old fashioned pyramid scheme. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So that was that. So, and that was really hard for me, and at some point depressing. And I couldn't. I went from this door to door. I actually upgraded to just like being in an office,
Oh
sitting in
wow.
an office, and then people come and I was trying to sell them the same things. Uh, yeah, at a different company, but that was really, those products, they were not very good for anyone.
Yeah,
That you
it's
weren't.
always
Yeah.
weird. I remember one of my interviews. I went in for this, like it was like some sort of office job. I went in and I just had this feeling, and the whole office is just bullshit. Like it just felt fake. The whole thing just felt so fake. Like there was like targets written on the board, and there's people, taking calls and keeping busy. But it just felt so. I don't know. I don't know if it could be a real thing. I'm not sure, but it just felt like I never got the job. But there was
Oh
just
yeah,
something
yeah.
about it that
It
just
was
felt. Mm, I
it was
don't know.
probably something like what I did. In
Yeah.
in that company that I worked, they even had like their own, slang or whatever. They would say juice or something great. Like that was a acronym for join us in creative excitement. And they would say like, that's too much for you. Okay.
No, no, no. It's just corporations should not be allowed to make up their own words because they're so
Yeah.
cringy. No.
Yeah. Yeah. And they would come up to you, you would do something great. They was like, juice. Because that's a thing
Uh,
apparently.
God, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
So it's really cringy when I think about it. But I was,
but you have to do it at that time. You have to
yeah,
do it.
I had to do it. So
You
I
don't have
had to make
options.
money somehow. Yeah,
Mm.
I didn't have many options. That's true. And also, they I was very young, and they brainwash you, and suddenly you think like, oh, okay, that's really great. They drive those very expensive cars, and they successful.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. So
I
they give you
maybe
the
I can be
whole.
successul,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
maybe I can have this car or whatever. Yeah, but actually at the interview when they asked me what kind of a car I wanted to have, like, because that was their thing. They wanted to catch something, because
Right.
they would say, okay, you want this car, so you have to work more. So they asked me about the car, and I was like, Batmobile. That would be the car for me.
They were like, "Oh, here comes the nerd brigade."
Yeah.
Oh man, God, yeah, I forgot about that part of my, my early immigrant life was me trying to find a job that was either, pay me proper money and also be fully legal, like that. Those are the two
Yeah.
things. The first, yeah,
Fully legal.
yeah, no, because you get, those early jobs, you take what you can, they'll
Yeah.
give you, and like not just to me, but it happened to my dad. Like he came here, he didn't even speak English properly a year before I did, and he got this job in a restaurant, cleaning. And at the end of the week, they would give him like 70, 80 quid, and he's like, "Excuse me, what's happening here?" He's like, "Well, cash in hand." And he's like, "No, I want an actual fucking paying job, please. Thank you very much." And so there's definitely people that'll take advantage of the desperation and the lack of experience. So yeah,
Sure. yeah. So okay. To end this motivational part is that so I was not very happy with my life. Just looking at the mirror and looking at this guy who's
Were you just
selling.
all juiced out?
Yeah, just I was juiced out. That's well said. Yeah. So I was just selling. There was this one pregnant woman, and I sold her like some I know like a mortgage or whatever, and some insurance product, and she was really happy with it, and she was very friendly with me, and but I knew that that was not good, like that was not that in a few years she will realize that that was a mistake, that was not a good product, and I just would not. It was hard to sleep. It was hard to do anything hard, and
Yeah,
I
I
was
mean,
kind of
the
depressed.
guilt,
I
yeah, the
think,
guilt and the shame would kick in. Yeah,
yeah,
I think.
I didn't know it at the time, but now people are much more, conscious about depression and stuff like that. So I was surely depressed at that time, and I decided to change my life and go into something else. And I was watching some like a very sketchy and some charlatans on YouTube talking about world and consciousness and drugs, obviously, and things like that. And I was just looking at them. I was like, wow, this is just so interesting. And I was all those conspiracy theories. I was just like a sponge, having all that.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what a young guy needs who's fed up with life, and his job is just to
yeah,
fall into a conspiracy loophole or just a
yeah,
rabbit hole, and then down you
yeah.
go.
But so fortunately, I was just like I was listening to those guys. Of course, fascinated by those ideas that they have. Like Terence McKenna, maybe you know this guy, or some other people like this.
I have
And
heard
so
that name. I have
yeah,
heard
yeah,
that
it's
name.
it's just complete bullshit. And but fortunately, I was just like, okay, those guys are saying a lot of stuff. How can I just check this? How can I somehow
Verify, yeah.
verify if that's true? And because all of them, they were talking about quantum physics and I don't
Oh.
know Einstein theory of relativity, because that's the basic thing. Because most of people don't know this, so they
Yeah, you
can
can make it.
just
It's perfect for woo woo. Quantum physics is perfect for woo woo because you don't
mm,
understand it fully. I don't understand it fully. The fuck, I barely understand. Not fully, barely. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not a physician. So like, I don't understand. Understand the word quantum, maybe. I'm not even sure about that. Physics, I understand. You know.
yeah.
So
So
you can
yeah,
make up anything, and as long as you mention an Einstein on anything, it'll be it'll keep going. So yeah.
yeah. I think we have like a time.
Yeah. That's okay. After the 10 minutes, we just restarted. We get another.
Sure. Oh, okay,
I've
okay.
never done this on Zoom before, so that's fine.
Yeah. So yeah. So I was looking at some very crazy stuff,
Mm.
like things that there's this kind of a oneness and one consciousness
Yes, yes.
that goes
We
through
all
us
won.
all. Yeah, we're all one. But you can also there's some kind of like an uplink, like a field that you can connect with when you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah,
When you
I
do, let's
recognize some of
say,
this. Yeah, I
yeah,
recognize some of this.
and you can connect with it when you do, let's say, drugs,
Now, obviously,
uh, and you can connect with it when you do art.
right?
Right? You have this kind of your muse. That comes all. It all comes from this kind of a thing. And so I was listening to that, and I thought, well, that's all really interesting, but how can I verify this?
Right.
Of course, after being like a hippie for 3 or 4 months without a job, so I quit my job. I couldn't, and then I was like, just a very happy guy with no job. I had some savings, but not too much. So of course, for I guess for at least a month, I went back to my parents' house. So and I was just going into woods, just living with
You were
connecting to nature.
basically the main character of any white woman finds herself film that you can see on.
Exactly.
You will live, laugh,
Yeah.
loving yourself through this personal crisis,
Yeah.
which is, you know
Yeah.
what? Sometimes that's what you need. If you need to run naked through a forest, sometimes that's what you need.
Sometimes that's what you need. Yeah.
And that is, listen,
But I
life.
was a really annoying person for everyone, because there was not a one thing that could make me angry. I could not. I was not stressed about anything. I was
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
just being like you. Did you see this movie Big Lebowski?
Big Lebowski. Oh, you were
Yeah,
the
Big Lebowski. Yeah, yeah. That's the pronunciation. That's the great pronunciation. Yeah.
yeah. So
So the Big
slippers,
Lebowski. And yeah,
bathrobe.
that was me. It was just like hanging there, just like, that's just your opinion, man, and stuff like that.
Fair enough. So hang on. So in this massive haze of quantum physics and finding yourself, you picked up the ukulele. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I picked it as no that's still not, we're not still not there, but we're
Okay.
almost there,
Okay.
almost there. But to end this kind of, so I took
Let's
this four
motivate the
months.
people.
Yeah. I took this 4 months to think about my life. I think people do this now. Like you end call when you end college, you have like a gap year,
Mm.
or after high school. I think it's more like high school.
After high
You
school, yeah.
finish high school, you do a gap year, so you think about what you want to do in your life. So I had my gap 4 months, and after that, I decided, okay, I'll try physics, this quantum physics that they talk about. I'll just do that. And so I had to do my exams again because I was in humanities. Didn't want to do anything with math or physics in high school, so I took the exams.
And you
My
prepared for them.
I prepared for them myself. Just as maybe I once met with a friend of mine. She was very good at math and physics. So I met with her. She prepared me a little bit, but that was basically it. I did the exams. The results were not so good, as you can imagine.
Like, but they got you in.
But they got me in. That's because